All right, today we're going to talk about when you should start changing your calories. And so whenever you start a new diet, obviously you make an initial change, an adjustment to what you're eating, either gaining or losing weight. And the simple thing is to get impatient with that. You want to change it and see, am I losing weight? Has it been a few days? Has it been a week? Am I losing what I think I should be losing? So the first part of this is setting realistic expectations and saying, where should I be at this point? And so my recommendation is always you never make an adjustment until you're 4 weeks in. So that allows for a few different things to happen at the body. First, your body has to adjust to the new caloric expenditure that's happening based off what you're eating. So your body will adjust what you're burning from a non-exercise movement and from a general metabolism, and as well as your thermic effect of digesting food to what you're eating. So after that first period, you need to give your body time to adjust to that. And so I recommend 4 weeks before you make any changes to that. Over that time, the amount of weight you're going to lose is going to depend on how many changes you're making. So if you're making extreme changes and you're cutting significant amount of calories out, so at least a 500 to 800 calorie deficit, and you're moving, adding in exercise, you can expect a 1 to 1.5% body weight reduction each week. And so for men and women, this equates to somewhere around 1.5 to 2.5 pounds each week of body weight. And that's coming from fat, all right? So that doesn't mean you're not going to lose more from water or muscle or lean tissue, but we're talking specifically about fat. So if you make less extreme changes and you're in that moderate range, so this is somewhere between 250 to 500 calorie deficit, and you got some movement, maybe not as active as the extreme category, you can expect to be in that 1 to 1.5% body weight reduction each week. And so this equates to about 1 to 2 pounds of body weight of fat each week. And then the next level is that easy or comfortable change. And so this is about a 250 calorie reduction or deficit each day. And then some movement, getting out, walking, getting some of that non-exercise movement each day. This is going to be a little bit less than a pound each week, so about that 0.5% body weight. So you can span that out and say over the span of 4 weeks, you should be anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds down, depending on how much change you made. But the big point is we don't want to make too many changes before we get to that 4-week point, because we need to let our body actually adjust. And so starting at the very beginning with an accurate description of what you're eating and an accurate estimation for how many calories you should be in a deficit each day, and accounting for your exercise and your movement, is going to get you a pretty clear estimation of where you should be at that 4-week mark. From there, if you're losing weight and everything is on point and you're on track according to where you should be, you don't change anything. You keep going until that stops. If you haven't lost weight or you haven't made the change you thought you would have, and if you have been sticking to the plan, you have been consistent, then you start to make a small change. And the recommendation is about 250 calories less each day, and you stick with that for 2 weeks. After the 4-week period, that's when you'll start to make adjustments every 2 weeks based on your progress. And this is where we're going to look at taking some different measurements to see how well our body is adjusting, because body weight alone isn't always the most accurate tool, given that we can have weight shifts in water weight, lean tissue mass, bone density, organ change, as well as fat. You can incorporate tools like skin caliper measurements, girth measurements with a measuring tape, or bod pod or DEXA scans to get different levels of accuracy on your testing. But the bigger point is you want to understand that the body weight from fat takes time to go away. And you can't always look at the scale and think, well, the number hasn't gone down, that means I'm not losing weight and I'm failing. There are so many other aspects to consider. And from this 250 calorie deficit we add in each day, the point is that this does not come from proteins. You'll take these calories from carbohydrates or fats, as those are more of the energy source. Protein is going to give a higher satiety level, and it's going to be how we build muscle and our lean tissue. We don't want to have a loss in that. The goal is not to get skinny. The goal is to get lean and look strong and well balanced. And finally, 2 things to remember. You have to be patient with this process. The weight gain you had didn't happen overnight. It may have crept up over months, years, or decades. So it's not going to go away overnight. So you have to understand that it takes time. And second, understand that it's not about how hard you're willing to work. It's about how much you're willing to sacrifice. The weight change is not going to happen if you're not making the changes you need to. So you can go work out hard and starve yourself, but if you're still drinking a lot every night, you're going to be stuck. If you're still snacking all the time, or if you are just starving yourself and you're not moving at all, there are changes you need to make. And so finding the change that you're avoiding and making that change, that is going to be the key that unlocks the rest of your weight loss. So remember, sacrifice is more important than hard work when it comes to weight loss or weight gain. It's all about consistency, being patient with the process, and sticking with it over a period of time that allows it to work.